And then have you testified in the High Court before?
That is correct, my lord.
Do you know the last time you've given evidence in court?
If I have to talk from my memory, my lord, July, August, I was in Toyando High Court. That was in Vattenfall.
And then do you know approximately how many times you have testified in the High Court?
That I cannot recall, my lord.
I see you joined the ballistic sections in 2005. To date, how many years of experience do you have? It is on paragraph 2.1.
I am 19 years, my lord.
And in paragraph 2.4, you indicated that you were declared competent and proficient in forensic ballistics examination. Do you recall which year?
I can recall it was 2009.
And this declaration, does it follow or it comes before a training that you have to undergo?
That is correct, madam. It comes after completion.
Have you given a certificate of competency or proficiency? Or it's like our doctorates. Say, hi, Dr. Mukhatri. When you ask as a doctor of what, they don't even know themselves.
My lord, each and every training level, after being after you've been declared competent, then they will sign you off. Then you go to the next level up until you finish the whole course. If you can check from 2005 to 2009, it's 4 years. So this one I was declared competent in all those levels.
Okay.
You further indicated that you are a captain. When did you become a captain?
I became a captain in 2015.
And then have you done any ballistic related work outside the Republic of South Africa?
I accompanied Lieutenant Colonel Mangena to Lesotho.
So I'm going to go on the record and say I did not listen to this evidence in chief when it was live last week. I'm literally listening to it now as it is, as I'm editing this, okay? And as I'm editing this, of course, I listen in court. I just saw someone leave that as a comment, and that is absolutely hilarious. But while we're on the topic of listening in court, Mr. I cannot recall, okay? He recalls what he wants to recall, okay? He's Mr. I selectively cannot recall, because, sir, you can recall. Now, this is where I have a little bit of a concern. So the first question I have is, Sibanda asked him, when did you become a captain? And he says 2015. Okay, you know what? I'll let it slide. I don't want to build a conspiracy theory. So let's put a pin on that 2015. AKA 2015 after Senzameiwa was murdered and you went to the crime scene and were just the guy, okay? You were the ice boy. You were the guy getting the tape measure. You were the runner, okay? The dagger boy. But you know what? I don't want to delve too much on that, because all he said was 2015. He didn't say January, February, March. He said 2015. So we'll leave it at that. We won't say much else. Let's move to part 2. Sibanda then says, have you done any ballistics related work outside the country? Okay. There is a long, awkward pause from Mr. I can't recall. Now, my question, is he fighting with his demons, internal demons? Should I say, should I not say? Should I then say I don't recall? It feels to me like he was having an internal battle and wasn't sure, why are you asking me this? I mean, Baloyi asked the court that the defense must stick to ballistic, microscopic Ntoni, and you're asking me about outside the country? Why did he pause? Is there some extracurricular under the belt activity he's doing with Mangena? Why did he pause? Because that was such a regular question. It's not a red flag question. It's not even a question from the defense. Why was there a long pause, Mr. I cannot recall? But his response also piqued my interest. After the long pause, he says, I accompanied Mangena to Lesotho. Oh, sir. Why did you have to bring up Mangena's name? The question was not, have you accompanied Mangena outside the country? The question was, have you done any ballistics related work outside the country? And you say, yes, I accompanied Mangena to Lesotho. Hey! What are you up to? But you know what? Let's find out where he goes with that.
Now, having mentioned Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, how do you know him?
Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, he is my colleague. He's my crime scene commander. That's how I know him. And he's my mentor as well.
When did he become your mentor?
Since I started at ballistics.
And then in paragraph 1, you mentioned that you work at 270 Pretoria Road, Silverton. I assume that is a building belonging to the South African Police, correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Do you have an office in that building?
That is correct, my lord.
Describe to the court how is your office situated inside that building?
My office is situated on the first floor of the building, my lord.
And then in relation to Colonel Mangena?
We were previously on the same wing, my lord. I've just moved to the other wing a few years ago, my lord.
Disclaimer before I'm accused again of disturbing the peace on my own channel. I'm about to give commentary, so if this is not what you are here for, this is a good time for you to offload yourself, okay? Offload yourself so that I do not disturb your peace. But now, you guys know I listen in court. I am so confused by this last response. First of all, why are we talking about offices? But hey, it is what it is. Sibanda has brought the office question into play. The only thing is, I don't think he expected this answer. Last week, okay, while they were still in session, on Wednesday, first on the stand from the ballistics and Tonton department was Miss Captain Rita Grobler, okay? She was first. And she said, they sit in an office on the floor, there's a corridor, and there's 4 offices. And those 4, who are the occupants of those 4 offices? She said herself, Ntini, Sereo, and who? Mangena. She described that for us. I can't find the clip right now. Well, I could go look for the clip. It's going to take me time, but I wanted to do this commentary real fast. I'll find the clip, I'll do a separate video, and I will make you listen to these 2 side by side. Now, let's continue. But he tells us, which shocks me, okay? Last week, he was placed in the same quadrant. I think that's what would say in the math shapes. He was placed in the same quadrant with Mangena, Sereo, and Grobler. Today, he himself comes to tell the court that I, Captain, cannot recall. I used to sit near Mangena. My office was near Mangena's. But it's been a few years and I've moved to the other wing. What is he talking about? Who is giving us incorrect information? How can they contradict themselves over there by the ballistics expert Ntoni? Do you see what I mean by that whole department needs to be reshuffled, okay? They need to start afresh, hire fresh blood, because there is no way such an innocent question can be met with such contradictory answer. Why can't the 2 give the exact same answer about this floor situation? I am officially confused. Or is it just me? Or did you guys also hear that as well?
And then do you know Captain Rita Grobler, the previous state witness?
That is correct, my lord.
Is your office also equipped with a microscope?
That is correct, my lord.
And then now let's focus on page 4, paragraph 3. Where you said you were asked to do a microscopic opinion. Do you understand what that is?
That is correct, my lord.
Are you in a position to explain to the court what is it? Take your time, explain. And also give Mr. Jonas an opportunity to interpret. Also bear in mind that my colleagues will also be taking notes.
My lord, an opinion is when an analyst or examiner comes to you and asks you to give a comparison microscope opinion on the exhibits that you will be having, my lord. It is an informal procedure that when you give that particular opinion, you don't document anything anyway. So in this case, my lord, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena came to my office and he requested me to give him an opinion with regard to the exhibit bullet and the test bullets to determine if they could have been fired from the same firearm or not. The opinion I'm referring here, my lord, is a microscopic opinion.
Can you now explain the process?
My lord, I have taken the tests that Lieutenant Colonel Magana gave to me, and I put them on the comparison microscope to familiarize myself with the marks that are on those particular tests. And then after familiarizing myself with the markings of those particular tests, of course, my lord, I have to check the class characteristics that I'm looking at the same tests that have the same grooves that are rifling towards the same direction. After I familiarize myself with those tests, my lord, I will put one test, mount it on the microscope on the right hand side.
As it is the court, I'm not so sure whether my eyes are deceiving me, but it keeps us safe and my ears as well. It's as though the witness is reading from something. I'm not so sure.
Is that your affidavit, sir?
This is my affidavit, my lord.
Yeah, just show it to counsel, because I can see it's an affidavit from here.
No, this we had. This is his official. But I was checking him when he was testifying, he keeps on looking down and talking. As if he's reciting what he's looking down at. We need to be very vigilant about these approaches.
So what about it? Proceed.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute. What do you mean? Sorry about that. You can proceed. Let's talk about that. Let's break that down for a minute. I am with Mzansi on this one because, hello, you see, Advocate Sibanda started us off by telling us that this guy, well, Captain Ntini, started his service in the ballistics expert section Dondoni in 2005, and they make it very clear to us that that was 19 years ago, my lord. 19 years ago. So for 19 years, and then you were also declared what? Competent and proficient in ballistics in 2009. That's a whole 4 years. So we'll give you about 15 years experience in ballistics, certified and competent. Okay? Tell me, why do you have to read when somebody asks you about to explain what an opinion is? Something that you've been doing for the last 19 years. And you're declared proficient and competent. You have to read it from your affidavit? Are you for real right now? You cannot recite what you do at your job on a daily basis. Okay? Because Captain Krobler, she told us, you guys do this daily. On a daily basis, and somebody asks you, what is an opinion, a microscopic opinion? You cannot talk off the top of your head. You have to give us a scripted response. And then when Mzansi objects, you say it is your affidavit? Even if it's written in your affidavit, why can you not say it without reading from the affidavit? Because then we both know, well, we all know, as members of the jury, plus Sibanda, he read it into the record last week. So why are you reading it a second time? Now we want to hear the human speaking, okay? Now, microscopic opinion. Of course, we have Judge Rata, of course, descend into the arena. It's what he says that concerns me. He says, is that your affidavit, sir? Why did he not say, what are you reading, sir? What is that? Why did he lead the witness, my lord? But you know what? I might be over-processing this. Let me know your thoughts on that. But kudos to Mzansi for calling that behavior out.
After I familiarize myself with the markings on the test, my lord, then I'll pick one test, then I've put it on the right side of the microscope, my lord. And I've put a exhibit bullet on the left side of the microscope, my lord. And I rotated the exhibit up until I find certain marks on the particular groove, and I put that particular groove at the center of the microscope so that I can just see it. And I will look for the same groove, my lord, on the test as well, up until I find a match. And after I've just found my ID, my lord, then I will rotate the test and the bullet simultaneously so that I can be able to see what I can find on the other groove as well. We call it a follow-up. My lord, the bullet has lengths and grooves. Whenever I rotate the one after I've got my ID, whenever I rotate the one that is on the right, what I will be doing there, I'll be doing it on the left, because I have to rotate them at the same time, check the first groove and the third groove to find the follow-ups that will give me an indication that it is indeed a match, my lord. When I'm satisfied that I had sufficient agreement of that particular test and the exhibit, then I've done that. I will do that with the second test, my lord. And I found the similarities, my lord. Then I've taken the exhibit and the test back to Lieutenant Colonel Mangena and informed him of my finding, my lord.
And then what was your finding?
I found that the bullet and the tests were fired from the same firearm, my lord.
Thank you. Do you recall the date in which Colonel Mangena approached you for an opinion?
My lord, from my head, I wasn't going to recall the date, my lord.
And then subsequent to that, did you find out when was the date exactly?
That is correct, my lord. I approached Lieutenant Colonel Mangena as he had the case file. He's the examiner of the case file, to remind me which date did he give me the exhibit and the test for microscopic opinion, my lord.
And then did you know at the time, on the 22nd of July 2020, that the tests or the opinion that you were given, it was relating to this case that we're busy with today in court?
And after I've given my microscopic opinion, it was Lieutenant Colonel Mangena who informed me that this was the Senzo Meyiwa case, my lord.
I don't know how things work in the South African Police Services. I especially don't know how things work in the South African Police Services Forensic Ballistics Laboratory over there in Silverton, there in Pretoria and Dunton. I can, however, comment and say I think things over there work in a very, very weird way, or at least Captain Planet, I cannot recall, Ntini, is giving us an account of how much confusion, disruption, and lack of organization there is over there. So I'm going to paint a picture, which is how I understood what he said. He said he's sitting in his office, which is on the other side of the other wing. And then Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, okay, the ballistic expert, famously known from the Oscar Pistorius trial, comes over to Captain Ntini and says, hey, dude, I need you to give me an opinion. Don't document it because, I said the word opinion. So that means you just put the exhibit and the test under the microscope, okay? Exhibit goes to the left and the tests go to the right. Turn and turn, look for the grooves under the microscopic view, of course. And when you are done, give me the opinion. He does this. Captain Ntini does what he's got to do under the microscope, and he says he's turning them, just like he's competent and proficient in doing. He's turning the left and the right. He's finding the grooves and he's counting, okay? He's counting. He doesn't tell us if he found 6 or 8 or 3 or what. He doesn't tell us, okay? And then he says when he was done, he handed the exhibit and the test bullets back to Mangena. He doesn't say where this happened, in his office or Mangena's office. And then he says when that happened, he then said to Mangena, they were fired from the same firearm. That is my undocumented opinion from the 22nd of July 2020, although it's 2024, but he remembers this very, very vividly. Okay, so of course the Banda asked him, how do you remember this? And then he says, well, No, he says, do you remember when you did this? He says, well, off the top of my head, I wouldn't remember this. So, of course, I asked Mangena when I did this. But he doesn't answer the question. I'm giving you the date because, I listen in court and I know the date. He doesn't give the date. Sibanda doesn't probe him for the date any further. And he says Mangena consulted the case file and that is how he knows when he did it. And he says, okay, cool. And now the next part is, and you say that it's a 9mm, blah, blah, blah. How do you know it's a 9mm? Because, Mangena told me. Now, this is where I have a question. He can't recall anything. With regards to the exhibit bullet, that he was present, physically, he was there when Mangena got it from the Spaza house. He was there. He probably is the one who carried the bag. Remember, he's the ice boy. He's probably the one who carried the sealed forensic bag after. But hey, you know what? Sikolapo, let's keep moving. He then says, this is what caught my attention of how things work in the weird ballistic expert offices of their laboratory. He said he did not know when he was doing the turning over there of the microscope of the test bullets. He didn't know what he was looking at. Only when he gave the answer, which was of course satisfactory to Mangena, did Mangena tell him that, hey, this is the bullet and the exhibit from the Senzo Meyiwa case. Remember that day when we went in 2014 on the 27th of October 2014? I know it's 2020 now, but remember? Yes, we're doing this 6 years later. We found the bullet. This is what I imagine the conversation went. Although, the affidavit is not really saying that. That is extremely weird to me. It is weird because you were there. So therefore you have a vested interest. Unless, of course, you're just ghosting when you're at work. Let me know your thoughts on that. Why is he acting brand new when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa trial? When he was there, he is one of the few people who can say, I saw Senzo Meyiwa's dead body over there at the autopsy department. He's one of the few people that can say, I saw the bullet when Mangena found it. But hey, he has a very, very short memory, okay? Very selective. He can't recall all that far back. That is just way too much information for him. You know what? I don't want to make this video too long. Let me end it here. I'll start a part 3 because Captain Ntini, yeah, he's an interesting guy. So let's continue to break down his exhibits, his affidavit, as Advocate Nisi likes to say. Let's continue to break it down because I know there's more nuggets coming up. So with that said, if you've made it this far in the video, you absolutely have my heart. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. You know the house rules over here. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Okay, consider subscribing. It is absolutely free. If you want to drop any of the advocate emojis down in the comment section down below, make sure you hit that join member button. That is the only way. Okay, the entire YouTube app, it's only here on Mzansi Unfiltered that you can unlock those special, unique emojis by becoming a member of the channel. No other channel has it. So if you want to experience using our emojis, join our channel, okay? I promise I won't rob you. It is absolutely affordable. Hit that subscribe button, okay? Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on part 3. Thanks for watching. Catch you on my next upload.